Hello everybody, how you doing today? It's Superfiend here, and welcome back to Planet Coaster Whacky World. Last episode, we worked on the accessibility elevator in here in the Hidden Temple. In this episode, I want to go ahead and work on the lockers, but before we get in there, I want to show you just a few things I did kind of off camera. I should say. Anyways, I went back to this food court. This used to be filled with my own custom-made picnic benches that I did before the picnic benches were released into the game. And so I removed those picnic benches and filled in the path underneath here, and just added some of the fairy tale ones. I kind of like the way these ones look for the pirate scenery. They're not too out of place with the pattern or the embroidery that's on the tablecloth here. I think those look kind of nice. And looking at the scale of this now with the in-game picnic tables versus the ones that I created, I think I want to maybe move this over a little bit this way and kind of shrink this down a little bit. Although that would be potentially hard to do because of the size of the path here. I also went and removed all the benches that were along the center divider here. I removed all of those benches. And I removed all the benches along this one. And the reason I did that is I wanted to see if that would entice the guests to use the picnic tables a little bit more than they were. Because I think when they're walking along the paths and they use path benches, that regenerates their energy, and then they won't actually sit down at the regular picnic benches. So I was just kind of experimenting with that. I built this area out here too. I changed this. These two shops right here, they used to kind of run parallel to the path, and I switched them to be perpendicular, and I tacked a restroom onto the back end, and I kind of just filled in some rough paths. And I'm going to pause it real quick. I built this little patio area here. They're using some of the benches, not all of the benches. I wish they would come and use these ones a little bit more. And we'll just kind of have to wait and see how that goes. But these shops are actually doing okay. They actually earn a little bit of money, so that's pretty good. And if you missed the last live stream, I kind of built this as just like a toy idea, something that we may do. And these are just a couple of the animatronics that fire at each other across the path. It creates a really neat little path interaction. I'm not done with this area. I got to clean this up. And I want to add some of the little condiment bins like we have over here in this food court. And speaking of that food court, I still have to decorate around those buildings. I'm kind of putting off decorating around the shops until a little bit later. I'm just kind of building up the scenery around the shops, and then I'll go in and build over the shop buildings to make them look a little bit nicer. And I also kind of worked along the whole shoreline here. I cleaned this up a little bit, and I added some rocks and a little bit of foliage and other shrubs and stuff over here along this part of the pathway. So I think that looks a little bit nicer. And we've got this nice transition from the beachy sand, or the sandy beach would be a better way to say it, heading over here to where the park gets a little bit more, or the terrain gets a little bit more rocky, where you have the hidden civilization buildings that are tucked away in here. And that's where we're going to go right now. Oh, and then I did a little bit of painting here with the terrain paintbrush. Let's see, with the jungle grass. I really like this jungle grass. It's It makes for really cool foliage and stuff climbing up rocks and hillsides. So anyways, what we're going to do this episode, we're going to pop in here and we're going to work on these lockers. And like I was saying, last episode, we kind of worked on all of this right over here. I'm going to turn on the torch cam so we can really see what we're doing. And I still like the way this works, or the way it looks, and I am going to be adding something a little bit more around here, some more like temple structure and stuff. But for right now, I kind of want to position the lockers, and it looks like these ones are going to bend and wrap around the curve, and then if we have a right photo booth, it's going to end up somewhere over here. I'm not sure how that's going to work with this terrain structure, because it's going to be hard to push it back because of the terrain and the path interaction. But for now, let's turn our attention to the lockers. Okay, so I think... Whoa! What is that? Whoa, 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 whoa. What? What the heck was that? Did all of these things just, start shooting glitter? Is that what happened? I think that's what happened. It's It's never... Oh, you know why it's never done that before is because I've always had it paused when I move them. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, that's why. Okay, so I have to pause it to do this, or otherwise it's going to go bonkers again. So let's see. I kind of think the lockers... let's see. We'll go up to about like right here. We might need to slide them over to like our left a little bit. And then over here, these ones will go back too. And they're pretty much in a line with each other right there. Looks pretty good. And do these ones need to come this way a little bit? It's possible that they do. Okay. So let's say that that's where the lockers are going to be. And so now we need to add something underneath the lockers. And I'm thinking maybe one of these long pieces right here could do it. So let's duplicate that, add it to the building over there, and then we'll move it. We'll flip it around, and we'll just see what it looks like. If we join this up with the lockers. So if we want it to come out to here, then we're going to have to lower it slightly. That's not going to work. So maybe we'll bring the lockers a little bit closer to the path if we're going to go with this idea here. Not saying that we are. I'm just kind of playing with it to see what it looks like. And I think I would want this to kind of go all the way over to there. Yeah, you know, I kind of like it. Let's look at the path really quick in here. Can I get rid of this curb? No, everything's unchecked. Yes, okay, that's more what I want. Like, I don't want anything on the path. No curb, nothing on the path. Get out of here with that. Okay. So now we don't have those hideous bumps popping up through the little scenery piece that we just put down. So that would be a little bit better. Now, what is this called? This is a coving. Okay, so we'll just search on coving, hit X, and we want like a smaller one. It's probably going to be this one. No. Maybe this one then. There we go. A little bit smaller because we need to bend around the curve here somehow. Somehow we need to get around this corner. And so let's see. Where does it actually start to curve? It starts to curve like right here. So realistically, all of these lockers, we maybe want to like slide and rotate slightly so that they kind of follow the path. And maybe we need to spin them a little bit more. Let's move this giant block out of our way so we can see a little bit better what we're doing here, and we'll move a couple more of these scenery pieces. Okay, so now we need to repeat this. And we need it to come out like over to here. And then we need one to go down. And it doesn't really matter how far down we take it because we can't really see. So that's where that locker wall ends up. And then over here, this one's a little bit trickier. Either we can duplicate the lockers or we can remove these two on the end. And, you know, just looking at it, I think maybe I want to remove these two on the end. Okay, come on. And then maybe these two pieces, we got enough room to slide them out a little bit. And then we need to somehow get the ones on the bottom. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Maybe if we can get underneath it, we'll have a better shot at clicking on them. Come on. Oh, okay, got one. I got the other, but I got one of the lockers too. There we go. I got them. Haha, I knew we could do it. And then we select the whole thing and go back down. And I'm just gonna eyeball this. And that looks like they're about the same height. The one on the left's a little bit taller, a little bit too high. All right, so we'll do like that. Now we can take this piece and kind of like slide it back over into here. And we'll, oops, duplicate it. And actually, let's just move it. Or maybe we just want this one. Yeah, this is probably gonna be better. And so what we'll do is we'll kind of like get the height for this one the same as the other one. Close enough. And we'll bring it over. And then slide it out slightly. I think it needs to turn a little bit more though. Which means that the lockers probably need to turn a little bit more as well. Worry about that in a second. Okay. And if we were to... no, Control X. If we were to duplicate this, is there any way that we could kind of like come around this corner cleanly with these pieces? I'm thinking we won't be able to. I'm thinking it'll be darn near impossible to create a, yeah, it's not going to work. And I think this one needs to go back just a little bit. Okay. And, you know, it looks like we could extend these lockers a little bit more this way. Or maybe we can push these ones back a little bit. And let's see. Okay, let's slide them out a little. And let's sink them down until they just start to intersect with this thing. Okay, then we'll do all of these lockers. Okay, so we'll bring them out a little bit. And then we'll bring them down until they start to intersect with the curvy bit. Okay. And I kind of like that. I don't like that there's such a big gap right here, though. So maybe they should come over this way a little bit more. Let's duplicate them and let's see. It's a lot of lockers. It's a lot of lockers. You know, maybe we don't even need the ones on this side. Maybe we don't need them to come down around the corner. Maybe this is like good enough. Maybe it's just turning into overkill down here. Yeah, you know what? Let's just do that. And then we could take this and kind of just move it down this way. Yeah, I'm kind of happier with that. I don't think we need that many lockers. Okay, is this the right one? Nope. We'll just go ahead. We'll duplicate this one. Slide it down. And it can swallow a bit of the ATM machine. And we'll just go all the way down to here. I think that works. I think that's working for me. And then now we need to get, all of these lockers. but not the little... Whoops, what happened there? No, 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 come on. But not the little... Not the little wood block. Oh, for Pete's sake, come on. Click on that building, select that stuff. There we go, good. Okay. And then we're gonna push these back until they're, you know, pretty much in a line here. Just eyeballing it. And then we'll drop them down till they're about the same height. They probably need to come out a tiny bit. Okay, that works. And then let's look at doing something with this ATM machine. Oh, and then the other thing we could do is actually if we if we click on that, and that, we can split them off from that building. And then we can click on this building, this piece, and this piece, and they can become part of the building on the right. So that they are two separate buildings. And then let's play with the ATM here. So let's go into the... I don't even need to go into the adventure pack stuff. I've already got pieces right here that I can use. Let's see. Let's look at the little fish guy here. Okay, let's put this on the front of the ATM. And kind of bury it a little bit. Probably needs to go back in a little bit. Okay, so like right there maybe. And then like right there. And it does look like they're kind of like slanted a little tiny bit and not moving straight up and down, but that's okay. And then we'll put another one right up top. Okay, and then along the sides, we'll kind of do what we did with the elevator. We'll use this piece. And we'll put it over here, add it to this building. And rotate it this way. And let's see. Is there any position where this like looks good? That's not so bad. I think it's sticking out too far, though. And then I don't like that there's this gap here between it and the lockers. So maybe, okay, so maybe not that piece. Let's try this piece, a little bit bigger. Yeah, this one's a little bit bigger. Okay, so if we did like that, I'm thinking what we do is we just take each of these and just like pull them out just a little bit, like that. So that the ATM is more encased. And then we can just lift this up. And then we'll duplicate this. Move it over to the other side. And as my kids like to say these days, easy peasy lemon squeezy. And, you know, there's like a little hole back there, but I'm not going to be that particular about cleaning that up. Okay, so I kind of like the way that looks. Well, oh gosh, I can see in there. All right, it's irritating my my OCD. It's irritating my OCD. So we're gonna take this one, duplicate it, go 180, and just like put it right there. Okay, good. So now when we look in there, we can't see what's behind it. So I like that a little bit better. And then we got to do something along the sides. So one thing we could do is like repeat the same pattern on each side. It's gonna kind of hide things over here. Let's just, let's go the easy route real quick. And let's just duplicate a bunch of stuff and set it over to here. And get rid of what we don't need. Okay. And then we can take this and we can slide it back over. All right. And, we could just see what this looks like. Okay, we probably need to take these two. Well, actually, since we're removing the ATM, we're not going to have this hole anymore, right? So we can just remove these. And we get rid of the ones on top and just duplicate this up. All right. And, that's not so bad. I kind of like that. I think we could keep that. So then we'll take this and we'll duplicate it over here. Again, we will delete the pieces that we don't want. We'll select the whole thing and we'll slide it all the way down to right here. And then this happens to cover up the pillar that we put in here once upon a time. So I'm thinking maybe we'll get rid of the pillar right there. And we'll just do this on each side. Okay. And then the ones over here will split from the building. The ones over here will split from the building. We'll grab our select guy. And we'll take that building out of the selection. And then now it's just these free floating pieces in the lockers. And so we'll make it part of that selection there. Or they become part of that building, and then we grab all this stuff. So it's just one building and all those scenery pieces. And that becomes part of the building over here. Okay, I like the way these are turning out. I don't like that we can see through here. We're going to be able to close this off. It's questionable because of the proximity of the path. Ooh, path tool. Path and terrain. They never play nice together. So I'm going to do my 100% with the tropical rock and then 10% with this other rock texture. And then just real quick, blast it a little bit with the grass. Go back into this building. We'll select all of this. And let's see. I don't want any locker pieces. Okay, so let's get that one. So we'll just grab all the big stone pieces, and we'll just slide it back a little bit further on this side. And no one's the wiser. Be really hard to notice that little detail, except for... no. Okay, so then on this side, we just pull them out slightly. And unless you actually watched it happen, like if you just download, like if I put this on the workshop or somewhere else, anyone who didn't see that is like never going to catch on to that. And I could always put a couple other rocks and stuff like right in there. So that looks pretty good. You know, I kind of like that. Now we gotta put something on top of these. You gotta put something on top. And you know, do I want to? How complicated do I want to get? How complicated do I want to get? Because we could put some of the statue pieces on top. Not the animatronics. Although, what animatronics do we have? Yeah, nah, none of that. Statues and centerpieces. Like, what do we got in here? We could put, no, that's not, I wish you could scale the pieces, make them bigger. Make them bigger than they are. Okay, we got a statue head. Okay, so like we could put this. Now, what does this look like if we put this guy up here? So he kind of comes out a little bit. You know, that's pretty nifty. I kind of like that. But then as soon as we do that on one, it's like, oh, we have to do it on all the others. Don't we? Are those the only heads we have? There's only a couple of them. We got, okay. Oh, these are the blank heads. And then there's also the snake heads, but yeah, that's kind of big for in here. It's kind of big, and I don't really think I want the heads over here. So what I think I want just the one head, just the one. Oh, that's kind of cool. Let me put this on him. Okay, I'm keeping that. I'm keeping that. And then where did I put it over here? Somewhere. The snake tail. This is the snake tail. So what if we like added it to the building here, right? And then what if we tried to like shove this in over here somewhere? What's it look like? Let's see. Oh, that's better. Okay, so like we could do that. And then it should just slide down here and fit rather nicely. And it's kind of poking out a little bit, but I don't care. I guess it's not poking out. Okay, so like what if we did that, right? It's poking out on this side. Okay, so we want to straighten it out, and then, oh man, I hate when you get these fuddy-duddy axes. Okay, and then what about over here? Yeah, that side looks okay. So what do we think of that? What do we think of that? Maybe it needs to come out just a tiny bit. And then we go back to our select tool. We select this. No. First, we go into the building editor. We select that. Split from building. Select this. Split from building. Now we can go back to our select tool. Select this. Select the elevator. Deselect it. Then select this. Select the lockers. So they become part of the same building. Okay, good. So now we have that. And now we just need to like run something along the top, right? And how complicated do I want to get? How complicated? Maybe we'll just like use this. Like we could just do these blocks right here, right? Yeah, that would be good enough. And do we... Oh, no. No. Do we want it this way? Or should they be the other way? Needs to go back in just a little bit. You know, I think I want it. I think I want it the other way, so it kind of hangs out over the locker. Okay. And then we'll just go down the whole thing here. What's this called? Is there one that's bigger? Temple trim. I think that's in here in the scenery. I guess I was wrong. I guess it's in here. We got a 4-meter one. Yeah, okay, that's what I want. Now, it looks like we're going to need to use the smaller one. No! No! Okay, I guess I'm okay with that. Be a little bit bigger. That's fine. And... Okay, go all the way down. Now, these lockers are a little bit longer. And so this is 4 meter by 1, 2 meter by 4. How big is this? Oh, that's a lot smaller. No. Okay, so we do that. And then, you know, one of the things I liked about this before was that the monorail was kind of open and you could see it, but now I've kind of taken it away. And let's push this back a little bit. Let's change it to sampled. There we go. And we'll do it over here as well so we can see a little bit more of this. Except on this side, I kind of want to pull it down a little bit. There we go. So it's kind of like it buries the top of this. That's the way I want it to look. Okay. And then, what else do we need? I mean, we don't really need to put anything else on top. But God, I really want to. I really want to like block it in. Now, realistically, what we would put on top is, if this was like a real theme park, is it would just be like paneling or something, you know, because we'd never see it, right? We'd never see it. And so, like what we could put on the back of it, if I turn the torch cam back on, if I just go to buildings, and we do like a panel roof. And we just like do this along that way. I mean, this is like realistically what it would probably look like behind the scenes. And then this one down here. Let's go into the building real quick. Let's change the color of all these. No, come on. Let's change the color. And we'll just go to like a... like this light green. And then we'll edit this. And we'll split this one off from the building. And then we'll slide it down. Then it does a little graphical glitchy thing in there. So we lower it down. We got a little graphical glitchy right here. So what we'll do to fix it is we go up just slightly. And then we come out just slightly so that we change like the Z order or the order of the textures in the graphic engine. And then we'll do the same thing over here. As soon as we put one slightly out on the other, it stops that flickering. Okay. And so what do we think of this? It looks pretty good. What we're missing, of course, is the lighting. We're definitely missing the lighting. Awfully bright over here. My gosh. My gosh. And then so if we want to keep the lighting consistent, we would come into here. We would grab the little dragon torches. And I would put one like there. Well, maybe... Maybe one would go there. One would go there. And then one would go here. And we'd get rid of that one. This would sink in. All right. And then we would sink this one in. And it would be like the same height as the other, right? Yeah, about like right there or something. And then we'd sink that one in. And it'd all be about the same height. I guess that's pretty close. Man, that is awfully bright though. Oh gosh, I hate how shiny that gets. What if we what's it look like when we drop it to nighttime? Yeah, see, I don't want it to be that bright on the stuff back here. It's too powerful. I wish I could change the strength of this lighting. That's one thing I really wish you could do in this game. For these types of lights, you could do it with the floodlights, but if we could change the color of the flame on this, it would help so much. So, I mean, like, it could go way up there, but then this one, you know, he disappears in there. I don't like that. I don't like it. Okay, we got to get some lights, though. We got to get some lights. Gosh, they really add a lot of glare. Let's go into the scenery and let's go look at the lights really quick. This will probably be the last thing we do because we're getting a little bit long-winded here with the runtime. Okay, so what do we want? What do we want for lights? You know, I mean, like this is kind of nice. Like if I could get the dragon torches to light like this, gosh, that would be so much better. It really would. It really would. One thing we could do is like, okay, so what if we did like that? It looks really stupid right now. Hopefully it'll look less stupid in a moment. And what if we went like like 4 clicks, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we just sunk it like way in. Okay. This is it's still doing it. It's still doing it. Okay, no matter what lights we put in there, it's probably gonna have this effect overall. Because of the material design that the game engine uses for these. But you know that's not too bad. And then what else is missing here is let's lift up a little bit so it's not going through the ATM. I'll lift that one up a little bit. I'll lift that one up a little bit. So it's awfully bright over here. That's a little bit better. Okay, so we'll get rid of that. There we go. And we need to split that one off. Go to our select, click on that, make it part of the building. Yay, okay. And then the only thing left that I don't like, this kind of makes an ugly little thing down here. I don't like the fact that they just poke out like that. So we want to go back over to the adventure scenery. And here we go. How big is this? This will work. So we're going to hit X and then... There we go. So we select the existing scenery piece, hit X for the advanced move, then click on the piece we want, and it lines it up with the same grid. And then that at least looks like they have, something that they're coming out of. And then if you really want, okay, it won't let me get the eye, so I'll just add another one. And do it like this, and it looks like it's coming out of the wall. Okay. Okay, I like that. I think that looks a little bit better. Although, maybe I should rotate the eyes. It's like you're never done. You're never done in this game. What would it look like if I hit X? Added the eye... Okay, moved it up that way, but then rotated it like that, and we took that little gap out. Okay, I don't care that much. We're going to leave the gap. Okay, I like the way this looks. This is cool. And then if we want to get really fun with it, one thing that we could do is we could put some of the triggerable items in here, like the flames, and we could trigger them like as it goes down the drop. So every time it goes down the drop, there'll be like a spout of flame that goes over the top of the pathway. That'd be pretty cool. I don't know if it's exactly safe, but it would be kind of neat. And then, none of the guests or anything can see how ugly and how hideous it looks back here. What is... Okay, this whole building needs to, like... Oh, is it going to work if I bring it out that way? Is it going to poke through all of a sudden? Nah, we're okay. Okay, so look at that. That's pretty cool, right? It's pretty cool. And then on the monorail as they go by, maybe we want to put like a little bit of scenery here just in this one that the monorail people can see as they go by. Although they'll go by so fast and it's way down here, they won't have a good view. But Okay, so I think that's going to be it for this episode. I actually like the way this is looking in here. I think it's looking really cool. Again, progress is a little bit slow with my style of video and playing, but I think it does look neat. I think it does look cool in here. And then so the next thing I want to do in here when we come back is I want to address like all of this up here, this stuff in here, and kind of have something going down along here. So we'll see what that looks like maybe when we come back in the next episode. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. You have a good afternoon and take care.